What's up, YouTube? Griever here, and this is going to be a second review of the some of the new 2013 Elite Blasters. This one is going to be the Strongarm. Now, the Strongarm is, for all intents and purposes, the Maverick 2.0. But in all honesty, this is a great cross between the Maverick and the Spectre. The handle is pretty fat, so it fits my hand very well. However, unfortunately, like the Fire Strike, they kind of cut down the bottom bit of the handle, so my hand's like pressing into the bandolier strap. So that hand's a little bit uncomfortableness, but not overall. It's a 6-cylinder. It runs on the cylinder, 6 cylinders. Great thing is they finally listened to us and they did the full barrel drop. And you can still snap it closed. Rotation is not on trigger pull. Well, it's kind of on trigger pull. But where the Maverick, when you pull the trigger, the barrel would rotate. When you climb it on the Spectre, the barrel would rotate. This actually rotates post dart firing. And if you dry fire, you can actually see a better example of how it actually works. So I'm going to dry fire this a few times just so you can see how it looks. This is completely bone stock. It still has the air restrictor and it still has all the dart pegs in it. But this is pretty much, but when you fire, the dart fires and then the barrel rotates. It rotates pretty much instantaneously when it's loaded. But when it doesn't have a dart in it, you can actually see how the rotation mech works. And here it goes. See, it's trigger pull, rotate. Trigger pull, rotate. And the rotation, and some people are saying the rotation is when you release the trigger. It's actually automatic. And from what I've seen on the internals, I can kind of figure out how it is. If you can see in here, there's a little, what looks like gray or white piece. Yeah, there it is, right there. That is part of the rotation mech. And what happens is when the plunger depresses, it then kicks off that. So when you have a dart, it just automatically rotates. When it doesn't have a dart, it's a little slower because it's just the full air restrictor or something. I don't know. I didn't take physics, so. But it's fire, rotate. And now I'll show you it firing. What I'll do is I'm going to load up all 6 darts, but I'm going to fire it like 8 times, so you can actually see how the rotation mech works between firing and non-firing. By the way, this also has slam fire, which I will also show as well. But see, when it fires, the barrel rotates almost instantaneously. And this is going to be the last one. And now dry fire. See? I don't know how that works, but it works really well. And now we will do slam fire. I have noticed, though, with slam fire, and now I have never been a fan of slam fire in pistols. Because I have the Dartag Speedload 6, which has a slam fire design on it, and that thing sucks so bad. You can barely fire it normally, like as opposed to slam fire. But now I'm normally left-handed, and I'm shooting off to I am left-handed fully, but normally, unfortunately, I'm firing to my left. So to make sure everything catches on camera, I'm actually going to be firing with my right hand. So if this is awkward, please forgive me. So here we go. This is slam fire on the Strongarm. Slam fire works really well if you just want to spam the darts. Now going over the actual aesthetics of the blaster itself. It's about the length of the Spectre, because the air restrictor is actually built into the firing mechanism here, as opposed to having individual air restrictors in the barrels like with the Spectre and the Maverick, so you actually do have a smaller cylinder. The tack rail has been moved to the front of the priming handle a la the Spectre, so you don't have to worry about the tack rail here. So if you want to actually put on like some tactical shit here, you don't have to worry about trying to prime your Maverick like this now. Plus, there's no real grip here, so you really can't do it here. You'd have to do it from the top anyway. This actually does have an iron sight, which isn't that bad, but it's a pistol, so you get two strap connectors, one here, and this actually has a priming indicator, again, a la the Spectre. So when you prime the blaster, you can see, I don't know how well it's going to pick up on camera, but here there's an orange. It now goes solid orange. When it's not primed, all you can see is you actually see the trigger mechanism, which is actually I think it's the catch that you actually see here. Yeah, it's actually you actually see the catch here, and then when it's primed, you actually see the back of the plunger, and then when you fire, it goes back to the catch. One thing I do not like about this blaster is the barrel release. And mind you, again, 6'4", I have big hands. This is where the barrel release is. On the Maverick and the Spectre, I can easily open the barrel one-handed with my finger. You actually need two hands to actually open up the cylinder, or you have to take your hand off the grip entirely to open it up, which that I actually don't like. I don't know why they had to move it so far up. Maybe because it really needed to be closer to the cylinder, which in that case, then I'm kind of annoyed at that. I'd rather have to take out six individual air restrictors than have to worry about that one, just so I can get this moved back. Also, some people have mentioned this. If you can see here, there is actually a humongous space between the cylinder and the blaster. That is actually remedied because with the piston it uses to fire, it actually has some craft foam or some foam padding here. That's the air restrictor there. It's got some foam padding here, and when it fires, it actually moves forward. Now, one, it's very hard to prime when this thing is open, but also there is a trigger lock. This will not fire if this. No, sorry. There's a little button here that depresses when the cylinder's in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold that piece down, and you can actually see the piston come out and firing. Right? Here, I'll do it again. I'm going to put it a little closer to the camera. If it's loud, I apologize. So when it fires, that piston actually goes forward to make a perfect seal as perfect as it's going to be, sealed with the cylinder to fire the dart. And then once the cylinder goes back, rotates to the next dart. Overall, that is my review of the Strongarm. The Strongarm is a great upgrade to the Maverick. I still like my Spectre, but given that is a reverse plunger blaster, the Strongarm is still a better buy. Plus, the Spectre still retails for $20 and Walmart's only. So, if you can find a Strongarm, definitely pick it up. It is a great improvement upon even the Spectre itself. It's a great improvement on the Spectre. It's a great improvement on the Maverick. Pick this up if you can. I believe they retail for about $13, so it's a little more expensive than a Maverick, but you're getting, for that extra $3, you are getting your money's worth. So if you see these, don't cheap out. Definitely pick one up. So that's my review of the Strongarm. Thanks for watching. Later.